My name is Alexander the Great. Sadomasochism is the study and the enjoyment of pain. S and M. My brand name is strictly Method. My name is Alexander William Erickson. This is The Sit Down. This is a meeting video with me, Alexander William Erickson. I am the owner, operator of Strictly Method. I'm here to meet with Dana White, CEO, owner, operator of Ultimate Fighting Championship, and Derek, as I would put it, a nobody from the internet. My name is Alexander William Erickson. I am operating a training system called Strictly Method. We train out of sadomasochistic behaviors by producing prosperous, healthy people. So I am going to apply that to my introduction and hypothetical, theoretical conversation with Mr. Dana White and Derek from the internet. And by the way, this is called the sit down because this is one of those meetings. What this meeting costs me is, so you understand, is no matter what, I'm in jail, Dana White's in jail, doesn't matter. If Dana White wants to meet with me, if Derek wants to meet with me, no matter what, within a week, within a month, I need to make 1 hour on my calendar to meet with either of these people. That is the cost of publicly releasing this video. So as anybody considers training, analysis, thinking that you know something that Tony Robbins and I don't, understand, if you are ever unwilling to meet with somebody you are training, a principal, somebody you are analyzing, within 1 month, I will put you in jail for 20 years before I ask you question one. Getting involved in analysis, training is a very precise business. Tony Robbins appears to be somebody who came out of nowhere. Tony Robbins was trained by people that trained me and I trained. So that's the level that we're talking about. This is a very serious business. And I'm pissed off that this is how I'm doing it. So I'm going to do it one take. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if it sucks. I'm going to keep on smoking joints. I love smoking joints and drinking coffee, by the way. I just got into it. My guys came through, and right now I just got to tell you, people. I got to tell you, this is what it's all about. I don't know what it is that you guys do with your time. This is what I do with my time. Okay. I love this. I don't know why. Joints and coffee. It's just normally we call this a sit down because trainers don't like giving very much up to the people that they're training, because we're supposed to deliver a lot of value. Now, I'm supposed to get started. Dana, I became an ardent fan of your product when I was in a bar in Florida and watched the Silva versus Sonnen fight. All 5 rounds. One of the toughest, most exciting matches I have ever seen in any sport. NFL, whatever. When I saw that, I said, that's it. I am a lifetime fan of this product. I don't care. I'm not getting involved. I'm a fan. I support it. I want it to be a healthy product on the international scale. And I didn't really care much about you or your product after that moment. Nothing personal. Just, yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'll figure it out. And then I saw you advertising your product. And it gets confusing, and this is why I'm recruiting Dana White, because Dana White is somebody that stands behind his product. He shows up every time I've turned on the channel, been interested, avidly interested in this product. He's there eventually and does a great job. Okay, that's one of the reasons that I'm recruiting him, and I also like the Fighting Championship Corporation as a public introduction for my training deck. And people that commit to fighting are people that I commit to. I'm a black belt. I take that seriously. Okay, I understand what it takes to train through martial arts. I became concerned when you released 2 fighters that were associated with your product, as far as I could tell, Red Rum and Cyborg. When you're in my business, which is social engineering for International Business Machines Corporation, and you see a brand that is supposed to be the antithesis of the World Wrestling Federation drama pack that we got used to with pay-per-view. That's when I decided I'm going to take a really serious interest in who Dana White is eventually and how this is coming about. And so I haven't studied Dana White, I haven't studied UFC that much, but I'm very committed to the product. And I'm not studying it right now because when I see stuff like that product, which is much more World Wrestling Federation than it is UFC, I became concerned. That's what I do. I'm the head of the CIA. I get involved. I take risks. I'm here because I want Dana White to be a CEO for Strictly Method. Now, Derek just had a cool sign on his Twitter account that says, "I want to fight." So I immediately took a liking to him. He's probably a good individual. I don't know. From Cleveland. His other Twitter account says he's from Texas. So, standard fighter trying to find a place, trying to figure out a way to make his own in this world. It's a tough job. And so I told him about my octagon that I was cleaning. And I said, "Welcome to Strictly Method," because he said something or did something. I can't remember what. And that means I'm training you. That means I'm committed. And he responded back and said, "What do you mean by all this?" I said, "Well, I'm going to have to make you a video. Give you an explanation 30 days later. That's what it takes to put all these things together." So I'm not looking for Dana to invest any effort into Derek. Derek's my problem. I created the problem with Derek. Now, if Dana decides to create a Derek problem, that's Dana's business. Because Dana is somebody that I'm recruiting to train to be the first person that I formally announced to be a Strictly Method CEO. A Strictly Method Recruiting and Training is my brand of analysis and NSA communications background, intelligence gathering, and the business end of my spy warfare. So a real cheer for people. Okay. So I want Dana White to become as skilled as he can in building his people so that I create more free time for him. And I'm going to do that by showing him how I train Derek. Okay? I show him how I train Derek. He finds ways to make his brand, his company, and his fighters that he has on contracts more profitable and more successful. Now, 2 reasons that I got involved with Derek. One, he has a kid. We talked about him having a kid, so that always gets me personally involved. I'm a sucker. And number 2, I got my CIA file on him, and he said that he signed up to fight for the humans for Warcraft, and I fight for the orcs. So I thought that he was going to fight for the orcs with me, but he went with the humans. So I just took a more personal interest. Strictly Method. We train out of sadomasochistic behaviors by producing prosperous, healthy people. We build careers by supplying jobs that eventually collaborate. Successful recruits that work with their CEO trainer will see results 12 months, 12 grand per month, 24 months, or 12 days off a month for a Strictly Method CEO. So that's what I'm actually offering. Who are my possible plausible CEOs? This is the long list. Dwayne Johnson, Vince McMahon, Ben Affleck, Jimmy Iovine, Tony Robbins. I improve their brands and their positions by coaching them on how to coach one person. And I show them, if they do it correctly, they'll get that one person involved with me, and I will teach them together to build a very prosperous and healthy network through Strictly Method. That doesn't mean, I'll get into that later. Okay, what do I expect from Strictly Method recruits? Number one, that you are hyper prepared. If Vince McMahon tells me I need to show up and do 2 minutes of axe handling drills, I'm going to show up and do 2 minutes of single hand, double axe handling drills. Okay? I didn't hold one axe for 2 minutes. I held 2 axes for 2 minutes. That's the type of preparation and expectation we have at Strictly Method. We expect you to have a good time. If you're showing up, we have a tried and true method that everyone but me and people that get recruited directly into CEO, it doesn't matter. You're on CEO, if you're with Strictly Method, you have to have good times on the burger method. Okay, we call it the burger method or the burger flipping method. Okay, and we always deliver. Delivery builds belief. What do I look at delivery? Jimmy Iovine has products. I don't even know what they are, but I'm certain. You look on my shelf long enough, you're going to find his name more than 20 times. And I've never even looked, but I'm sure. Okay, so let's get down to what I'm talking about with Ultimate Fighting Championship, Dana White, and this character I call Derek. Okay, what I'm involved with UFC and World Wrestling Federation is Warcraft. I've looked at both products, UFC and World Wrestling Federation. Warcraft as a product has not been a sponsorship level brand that I have seen. Okay, I am looking to dynamically engage their products with the Warcraft brand. My chant is 3 rounds for the Horde. I'm getting 3 PhDs. And I'm not going to be able to fight professionally because of how intelligent I am. So I'm not going to be able to fight a full-length fight. And essentially, it will be a tap-out type match for points because we're not going to be allowed to attack my brain. So we will account for that as 3 rounds for the Horde. Now, what I've done is I've created a groundwork for Derek. And I tried to explain it to him, and you don't get much from people involved with Strictly Method. You have to figure it out. You have to work on it. You have to build a workstation for your own organization. Okay? Your own little world. You have to have your workstation for how you approach it. And it's more than just an iPhone. You have to, and if it is, then you have to toy with that, because you have to really figure out how you're having fun with building your entire organization, your whole octagon. And again, if you want touchy-feely material on what an octagon is, go read 10 different books by 10 different people, man. Pick one out and figure out how to organize your life. That's not my problem. Okay? I'm here to put Warcraft in front of Vince McMahon, Dwayne Johnson, Dana White, and Derek. And if Derek follows my method, instead of going for, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get a Warcraft computer station and my own thrown as a king of the horde that produces dragon eggs. That's what I want out of my deal, okay? So there's a ton of cash money that I have left on the table right now for Derek to put together a deal of saying, listen, I'm Derek, I am MMA, if I can get your contract, I have paper that I can get a UFC contract. I want to be in here, let me be a video game tester. Let me play inside of the Warcraft area. I'll run Ethernet from my van that I park out front. Okay, I sleep in my van right now. Okay, I sleep in my van down by the river. All right, I'm gonna run an Ethernet cable into a router, which is gonna be connected to my Verizon box. But I'll keep it out there, and then every morning I'll just run my 250 feet of Ethernet cable from the van, and I'll plug in and I'll play Warcraft for MMA, and I'll help promote your brand. And UFC is in your office every single day. And I'm playing Warcraft 3 to 6 hours a day, and I'm promoting MMA as casually as I can. Warcraft and UFC's got 120 grand a year for that tomorrow. Especially when they see that I'm committed to backing up these positions with what I would call ownership. Okay, I'm not interested in getting a $500 check or a $500,000 check from Dana White. I'm interested in ownership percentages in my trust fund of UFC to make sure that Red Rum and Cyborg products don't ever have to meet me in the eye and our customer in the eye, and we know how to deal with those type of problems. Okay? And I'm not going to say any more than that. We have the WWF, we have Vince McMahon, we have Dana White, and we have me. You got those kind of problems, that's the circle of people, and all of us know how to carry an axe and swing it. I guarantee you. So that's what I'm trying to put on the table. Okay? Derek has a chance to grab 120 grand a year if he's intelligent and well organized. And he can then lead me in when he's ready to meet with me. He can tell me about how he delivered the Warcraft to UFC, and how my ownership percentage kicks ass at UFC, and how I've got an ownership coming to me within Warcraft. That's how Strictly Method works. And that's the level when I approach any of these people. When I approach Dwayne Johnson, okay, I gave him a note. I'm going to approach him with that level of an idea for the problem that I gave him. And every time I write one of those checks, that's me saying I will meet with those people for the rest of their life. Within a week to 30 days, if I am in town, if I am reasonably available, I will be available to them by phone or in personal meeting. That's what you have to commit to when you do these things. Again, and we're going to go into the bonus round on this one. The McDonald's bonus round, okay? When I first called McDonald's after I got my head sorted out that I was the head of the CIA and not a broke real estate developer. Because I talked to McDonald's as a broke real estate developer. Well, as a soon-to-be broke real estate developer, I talked to McDonald's. A decade later, I've told them that I'm going to be interested in talking to them about their business on the 80 to 100 year level. Okay, that's sort of the level that I require myself to interact with these businesses. Okay, I have written extensively, communicated extensively through Hive Mind Equipment with McDonald's about my level of commitment to the burger flipping method. Strictly Method, we have 2 events. In the future, we'll have 2 events every year. In the spring, or whenever it is the absolute cheapest 10 days to shut down Las Vegas. And I mean shut down 80% of Las Vegas. And we'll only fill it to about 30% capacity, but because of when you look into having these big events, you can shut it down with 30% capacity because of how you run the rabbit fuck. That's what they call it. They probably call it that because that's what I call it. But anyways, so there's the spring business event. Okay. McDonald's will be there. Okay. You've got Derek with you. McDonald's is not going to pay 120 grand to Derek. But McDonald's will give him the strictly method, flexible work calendar of his ever-loving life. Because he will show up, be responsible, and what was the things that I listed? He will be hyper-prepared, he will have good times, and he will always deliver because delivery builds belief. If he's able to make it to that spring social business event. It's 10 days of, that's how long it lasts. That's the event, okay? McDonald's is a big part of that because I'm trying to get, it has to do with federal resources and human resources and technology and all this other kind of stuff. And so McDonald's always wants part-time labor. Okay, so let's just say that Derek's too much of an idiot to qualify for Warcraft. That happens. Doesn't slow me down. We can get you in at McDonald's. All right? We'll get you the flexible schedule that you need. We'll let you work eventually at multiple locations. And I mean multiple locations. If you do your job at the level that you need to do, where you could be promoting, MMA sports. And that's how you have to be able to build and deliver. And then in the winter, there's the Winter Solstice Annual. It is a 2 to 3 day event, rumored to be at the Filoli Castle in Woodside, California. That's not official. I heard Fight, Love, Live, and I said that's where I want to have my winter solstice. Strictly Method celebrates one religion. It's called Festivus. We celebrate it at the winter solstice. Well, you guys, it was a good meeting. That's all we've got. Have a good business day.